Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can determine Cohen's G using Python. Specifically I'm using a JupyterLab and Python version 3 installed in there. You might want to check out my website, which has a lot of information for free, and my only for free, and my YouTube channel. And Cohen's G is actually one of the few effect sizes that I could find for a one sample binomial test. In another video I discuss how to do the binomial test with Python. It's mentioned in an article by Rosnow and Rosenthal, and its formula is actually pretty straightforward. It's simply the proportion minus 50%. So if minus 0.5. And that's actually all there is to it. So luckily Cohen also gave rules for thumb for the interpretation, and he only actually gave the thresholds for when it's considered to be small, medium or large. So I interpreted that myself as the following, so that anything below 0.05 is neglectable, below 0.15 is small, below 0.25 medium, and otherwise large. Now here's the code that I'm going to build up in this video in the example, but if you just want to have a quick look at the final result, this is what it will look like. It will report back the Cohen's G and its interpretation according to Cohen. So the example, for an example I need some data, and I'll be loading that as a pandas data frame, so I need pandas. If you don't have pandas installed, you should probably do something like pip install pandas or check out the documentation. Then I need some data itself. I can use then from the pandas the read CSV, and I'll be using gender as an example, and I can use values count to get a small frequency counts. So there were 34 males and 12 females, and those were the only two genders available. The value counts returns a Python series, so we can actually sum these, which might be useful for later on. So 34 plus 12 is indeed 46. Now I'm going to pick one of the two. It doesn't really matter which one, so I'm going to simply pick the first one. So I'll use dot values and then the zeros, which is the first one, because yeah, counting often starts at 0 in Python and many other programming languages. And then to calculate G, we simply calculate the percentage. So that's my x divided by my sum. And we subtract 0.5 from that. So then we actually have 0.23913, so rounded at 0.24. And if we look in that table, that would actually make it just underneath this one. So it's going to be a medium. We can let Python do that by simply using an if function and then each time checking if it's below a certain threshold. And indeed it reports back to be median. If you really want, I made this function that actually does all of the above steps in one go. And just to show you how it works, I'll simply put in my x and my sum. So you need to feed it a percentage, and then it simply returns the directional G value, which has a minus sign if it's negative, the non-directional one, which basically removes that minus sign, and the qualification. And then here are the references, and that's all there is to it. I hope this video was helpful.